These are the latest iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max colors, and this is tough. So a few days ago, I basically picked up every single iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max color, and I had certain opinions on them when I first unboxed them. I in fact even ranked them in my order from favorite to least favorite. But after using these for a few days, I think I've changed my mind. So every single iPhone launch, I'm usually quite puzzled, okay? Which iPhone color looks the best? Are certain colors better than the others? Which one looks the best inside cases? And of course, which color should I buy? And make sure you guys watch till the end because we're gonna rank these and yeah, it's gonna be tough. Also, I'm gonna say it right now, this is probably the most comprehensive and all-inclusive color comparison that you're gonna see on the internet. So buckle up. Okay, first up, Desert Titanium. Now, this is an odd name for gold. Just kidding. This is not really, I guess, gold, but let me explain why. Firstly, this is the defining color of the iPhone 16 Pro this year, and that in and of itself kind of makes this a special color this year. Every year, Apple decides to venture out into safe, somewhat monotone ranges to come up with a color for the year, and this year we have the Desert Titanium. Now, right off the bat, after using this color for a few days now, I honestly can't even peg it. It literally looks gold sometimes it looks yellow, sometimes it looks rose gold, and sometimes it even looks white or off-white. So if that's the kind of color range that you're okay with, then this is a pretty good option. I will say a few people have questioned me, asking me if this is my wife's phone, so now I have no issues with that because I actually think this color is kind of dope, but just be mentally prepared for that. So who should actually get the Desert Titanium? Well, for starters, someone who's looking for the defining color of the year. Secondly, I'd say someone who wants the phone to keep them guessing on what exactly they bought. And some people like me might actually even dig that. So that kind of keeps the phone interesting over time because it just keeps looking different rather than just like plain black, for example. Now, the next person I think who should get this phone is someone who wants a visibly gold phone, because even though this thing's a chameleon most of the times, you can tell it's a gold phone a lot of the times. Now, in terms of fingerprints, this thing actually does quite well. You can't really see the fingerprints on the back because of this light colored matte glass, and the actual frame also does a really great job at masking those fingerprints. All in all, I think Apple did a great job with this color. I love the darker accents on the camera lenses and the darker sides, giving this a really nice two-tone look to it. So if you want a phone that's nice and colorful, this is probably your best bet this year. I really dig it. Next up, Natural Titanium. Now, this was the defining color of last year, but I will say this, it's still one of the better looking colors that Apple has done. It's also a little bit iconic or symbolic because it does symbolize iPhone's switch to titanium for its materials over stainless steel. So who should actually get this color? Number one, if you have the Apple Watch Ultra, also in natural titanium. So if you wanted to match all your gear and stuff like that, it is kind of a cool combo. This is the combo that I ran last year. Now, secondly, if you are somebody who does like the color gold, but you don't want something that looks like too rose gold or a little bit too gold, then the natural titanium is a happy middle ground between white and gold. It's somewhat darker and colder hues do make it a great alternative and a safe option for someone who did want to try gold before, but didn't want to delve too far away from their monotones. Like, this natural titanium color is the perfect earth-toned, iPhone to have throughout the year. It looks great in winter, it looks great in summer, and it just matches every season so well. I think this is a solid color to get. So if that's you, if you like earthy monotone colors, then this is probably your best bet again this year. Now, it's also worth noting that this was last year's most popular color, and because of that, majority of the people ended up getting it. So if you do want something that's a little different, a little more 2025, a little more demure, feels a bit newer, then this might not be the color for you. Now, having used this as my primary color for the last entire year, I will say that it does look somewhat a bit dirty or muddy in certain lighting conditions, so it's definitely a polarizing color in that sense. Now, somebody who should probably not get this phone is somebody who wants their phone to pop or stand out, because this color is meant to do exactly the opposite. Now, because this is a lighter color, you won't see fingerprints as much, and also scratches and scuffs and stuff like that will be less visible. Like, trust me, I've dropped this phone like so many times over the past year, and it's held up fantastic. Now look, whichever phone color you do end up buying, one thing's for certain, pretty much 9 out of 10 people are going to slap a case on here. And look, the biggest loss to the iPhone since June 29, 2007, when the iPhone was created, is Apple getting rid of their leather cases. That case was my go-to, and I still think about it till this day. Thus began my hunt for the perfect leather case to replace it, and that's when I discovered Moft. I reached out to Moft and I told them that I liked their cases and asked them if they wanted to partner up for this video, and here we are. These are the Moft cases that I wanted to talk about today, and I'm absolutely in love with these cases. Firstly, look, materials. Materials is huge for me, and this is one of the reasons why I actually like this case. This is a material they use called Moft Leather, and it's basically developed by Moft, and it's the closest thing that I've seen to Apple's leather cases. This leather material feels really soft to the touch, it feels really great in your hands, and it doesn't add too much bulk to the actual phone. Now notice the attention to detail here with the actual metal buttons, another reminiscent Apple leather case feature. They also have a precise cutout for camera control. Now I actually like how they dealt with the whole camera control button by cutting around it, because this doesn't block me from moving my thumb around and swiping on that whole area, but you still have that higher lip around it in order to get that protection when the phone is face down. Now inside the case there's a really nice soft touch microfiber lining, and you know it's going to treat your phone well, probably better than you. This phone case is MagSafe compatible, not to mention when you pair it with something like their wallet stand, it's got even stronger magnets. Speaking of which, this is the Moft Snap-on wallet and stand, and it's the perfect combo with this case. This thing's a wallet stand and grip all in one design. It can hold up to 2 of your cards, and my favorite feature is you can use this as a stand in portrait mode, landscape mode, or even floating mode. The floating mode is actually really clutch when you just want to put your phone aside and watch something while you're taking a video call, or like you're brushing your teeth or something like that. And here's the kicker. This thing comes in 18 different colors. So whatever your taste is, they got a color for you. And you can mix and match your style with the cases and wallet combos. So if you're looking for a case and a wallet to pair with your new iPhone, then check out the link in the description down below. I highly recommend these ones. Okay, the next color we're gonna look at is called white titanium. Now, this previously was called silver, but pretty much everyone just referred to it as the white iPhone because the back glass would always look white. However, this year, the white is actually a more noticeably starker white, I'd say personally, whereas in previous years, it did have a little more of a hazy tinge to it that kind of did make it look more silver. Now, this color has a silver metal titanium casing around it with a white glass panel at the back, which is all matted out. Now, who should actually get this particular color? Firstly, if you're somebody who likes the classic Apple color. Apple has always been defined by the color white. The second person who should get this phone is somebody who wants a really clean aesthetic looking experience across the board, because whether we're talking light situations or dark situations, indoors, outdoors, this phone is clean, and I'd say it stands out even more than all the other colors on this table that we've taken a look at. It's generally the color you want to take if you kind of want people around you to know that you have an iPhone, because it's the brightest color out of all of them. My only gripe with this phone, and something that you might want to know, is that because you don't get that brushed titanium look on the sides, and it's this powdered titanium, it kind of looks like aluminum. Not that that matters, but I mean, if you're paying for the Pro model and you want it to feel and look more titanium-ish, is that a word? Then yeah, it kind of defeats that purpose, but not a big deal. But the good news is, similar to the natural titanium and the desert titanium, you won't see much fingerprints, and also scratches and scuffs like that will be less visible. But overall, solid choice, and actually might be my favorite choice this year, but we'll see about that when we do the ranking shortly. Okay, so black titanium. You can't go wrong with this one, okay? It's one of Apple's colors that they kind of symbolize as being more pro. It's also the safest color you can possibly pick here. You just can't go wrong with it. It looks absolutely incredible in daylight and nighttime, whether you're inside, outside. It's this consistent matte black look to it. And unlike in prior years where the best black device you could get from Apple was like space gray, this phone is actually black, and I love it. Now, I thought last year was the closest to matte black phones that we've had, but this year does take the crown for that. And this year, the black is even darker to my eyes for some reason. And along with the matte titanium sides, this thing just looks fantastic. So who should actually get this color? Firstly, Batman. If you're Batman, I'm Batman. you should definitely pick up this phone. And now if you like keeping all of your stuff with this stealthy, you know, undercover vibe or look to it, and you don't want to attract too much attention to what you're carrying, your phone or stuff like that, and you like more so of a moody aesthetic, then this is a fantastic choice for you guys. And unlike the desert titanium and even some of the other colors on this list, with this, you get the exact same color in pretty much all lighting conditions and angles. You get this nice black finish and that's it. It doesn't change up on you. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's matte black. Do we need another reason? Now, the downside to this color, and there is a key downside here, which the others don't really have, is you get hella fingerprints, okay? Fingerprints show up on this like no one's business. Like the moment you're holding this phone, even for like 2 seconds, there's gonna be fingerprints on it. And because of that, I think you'll probably see scratches and marks a little bit more on this compared to the other colors. You also have that infamous haloing effect that we had. However, you know what? If you're gonna get the black one, just get a nice case like the Moft one I talked about, throw it on and you won't have to worry about any of the fingerprints or any issues like that. So I'm gonna talk about how these phones look inside cases, and we're gonna divide them into 2 different categories. 1, people who want their phones to stand out, and 2, people who don't. So at the end of the day, if you want your phones to stand out, you honestly can't go wrong with either the white titanium or the desert titanium. It just looks great with pretty much any case you throw on there. The color on the camera just pops a little bit more. Whereas if you want a more stealthed out look that screams incognito, then either the natural or the black titanium will do the job. Both look great and they're just a bit more muted. So here's a quick look at the natural titanium inside a case. You notice how this is just a little bit more muted. Here's the black titanium. Now this is a little bit of a lighter color. If you went with the black case or any other colored case, the black, it just kind of just blends into the case. The case is the thing that stands out, not the actual phone or the camera bump. Now the white, this you can see stands out. Now I do have a slightly brighter case color here. However, even if I did go a more muted case color, then this white would stand out even more. And then last but not least, this desert titanium, which I think actually stands out in terms of color pop the most, right? You have this like two-tone look that really stands out on the camera bump, because even with the white, if you compare it, like the camera bumps, you can't really tell the silver, you know, outlining on the actual camera bumps. The gold, definitely you can tell it's two-tone. And then after that, I'd say it's the natural titanium, then the white, then the black. Okay, now finally my rankings. This is the most exciting part. So initially this is how I had ranked them. So I think I had natural titanium last place, then I had the black titanium in second last place, then I had my desert titanium, and then I had the white titanium. So this is how I'd basically ranked them initially. I think I've changed my mind. The first thing I'm gonna say is, after actually using these phones quite rigorously over the past week and a bit over, I'm gonna move the black iPhone titanium to the very end. No hate against the matte black. And I was actually shocked because going into this, I was like, matte black is gonna be the color I'm gonna stick with this year. And I was the most excited for it, but like the iPhone 16 is already not a big monumental upgrade this year. It's already a little bit boring of an upgrade. And the black just makes it, frankly, a little bit more boring. This was the toughest part because I gotta say, out of all 3 of these colors, I'm a huge fan of every single one of them. I mean, I even like the black, like obviously, but I don't know. It was really close, and I think I'm still struggling with it right now, okay? To be quite honest, I'm still struggling with it. But I think I'm gonna go with natural titanium as third place. I mean, we've seen this color in and out for the past year. Like everybody was posing with that particular color. All the aesthetics and overhead shots and everything was just that color. So it's kind of overplayed at this point. Now for first place and second place between the white and desert titanium. This is a tough one, but I think these 2 are probably the most exciting colors this year in my opinion. And I think I'm gonna keep it the way I had it before. I'm gonna put desert titanium in second place and the white iPhone takes first place again. That has not changed. I think this is the definitive objective color ranking this year. Let me know which color ranking you would have gone with personally, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me with my reasoning or logic. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you thought it was helpful, I'd really appreciate a sub here. I mean, who else is giving you this level of detail that we've gone into? Like, how long is this video? Just over colors? Like, you know I got you though. So anytime you have any colors or any sort of like aesthetic stuff like that, I got your back. But in any case, if you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like one of these two here, and I will see you guys there. Take care, stay blessed, peace.